Previously on the Reviewing Every Mario Game series. Mario is a huge gaming icon. That's why today I'm going to start a brand new 4-part series in search of the answer to this question. What, in my opinion, is the best Mario game of all time? Join me next time where I go through all of the Gamecube, N64, and DS Mario games. And if you don't, Dwayne will kill you in your sleep. So a while ago, I posted this video where I reviewed every mainline Mario game on NES, SNES, and Game Boy, and it did very well. It clocked in at a whopping 50 views and 46 comments just 20 hours after the video's release. Look, that's a lot of views for smaller channels like me, okay? After a big video like this, I thought it was only fitting to make a part 2. Also, I said I was going to make a part 2 in that episode, but still. Anyways, today we'll be reviewing more Mario games. But I'm going to change one of the rules I set in the first video. The change that I've decided to make is that I'm going to review the Wii Mario games in this on top of the N64, GameCube, and DS. And that's because I realized that if I review the Wii U, 3DS, Switch, and Wii games in the third episode, that will be too many for one video. Anyway, let's begin. The very first game we got is Super Mario Okay, seriously, I had to start with this one. The first game we'll be diving into is Super Mario 64. So, Mario 64 is a game that exists. Some people like it, some don't. Okay, fine, I don't like Mario 64, okay? Is that what you wanted me to say? So Super Mario 64 was Mario's big game on the N64. When it came out, tons of people loved it. And I am not exactly one of those people. So first of all, the graphics are just bad. And I'm sure you're gonna say, oh, but it was an N64 game. It was the best they could do for the time. And that isn't true at all. Something they could have done was be like Mario Kart 64. In that game, instead of using 3D models, they used sprites that give off the illusion of being 3D, while it's not really 3D. It looks fantastic for the N64. The other thing they could have done was just flat out not make the game on the N64. Yes, I'm serious. I think they should have just waited until the Gamecube to make this game. I feel like they would have been more ready to make it on the Gamecube. Another reason I think it's overrated is the controls. This game controls are so wonky and they aren't precise at all. There are some parts that would be super easy in any other Mario game, but because of the way this game controls, I find myself dying over and over to it. Like I said, this would not be a problem in any other Mario game, but because it's Mario 64 and it has these controls, it just is. The sad thing is, I've seen the level design from YouTube and stuff, and, well, it's kinda just mediocre. It's definitely not terrible, but it's for sure not worth getting used to these terrible controls to experience. The last negative thing I got to say about it is how well it's aged. Look at Super Mario Bros. I know I said this in my last video, but that game has aged well. And look at Galaxy. That game has aged absolutely phenomenally. But Mario 64? Nah. So many people say that this game has aged perfectly, but it hasn't. As I said earlier, the game looks so ugly and the controls are way too loose, and I believe that being able to age well is one of the most important steps to good game design, as I said in the first episode. So is this game all bad? Well, no actually. There is one upside to this, and it's actually a very big upside. The music. This game's soundtrack is so flipping catchy, and the credits music is just great, and it's so emotional. It's almost enough to make me want to like the game. But not quite. Nice try though. Anyways, I give Super Mario 64 a 2 out of 5. Although I seriously don't like this one, I didn't have the heart to put it at a 1 out of 5 just because of how great the music is. But overall, Super Mario 64 is bad, okay? I don't have anything else to say. It's just bad, I'm sorry. The first time I ever played Super Mario Sunshine was in Super Mario 3D All-Stars. That's because I've never owned a GameCube and there's no way I'm gonna fork over a ridiculous amount of money just for this game! Anyways, Super Mario Sunshine is actually insanely underrated. People say that the game's graphics look unpolished, and yeah, they kind of are, but I can easily get over that. I honestly don't know why people don't like this game's cutscenes. The voice acting is so cheesy, but I love how cheesy it is. It's just great. I also don't understand why people don't like the controls. This game controls amazing. Mario feels so fluid. Sometimes I do die, and it does feel like it's the game's fault occasionally, but it's not really that bad, and usually it feels awesome. And I haven't even mentioned Flood yet. Flood is a blast to use. His two functions are the hover nozzle and the spraying nozzle. The spraying nozzle, well, it sprays obviously, and the hover nozzle, well, I guess the nozzles are actually pretty self-explanatory. But my favorite of the two is definitely the hover nozzle. It feels so good to help your jumps with, similar to the spin in Galaxy or Cappy in Odyssey. The music is a bit of a mixed bag. A lot of the songs are super catchy, but some of them are just annoying, like the death sound. That is the most obnoxious thing ever! Anyways, Super Mario Sunshine gets a 5 out of 5 from me. It's not a masterpiece like the other 3D Marios, but I found it super fun and really underrated. Flood is fun to use, the controls feel great, and overall, Super Mario Sunshine is a very fun game. But dang it, Nintendo, why can't you just officially re-release this game? It can't be that hard. Now we got New Super Mario Bros. DS. Look, I know that people give this series a lot of hate, but I feel like if we forgot all about the games that came after this first one, we'd probably grow to appreciate them a lot more. So New Super Mario Bros. DS. The game looks pretty good for being on a handheld, and the game's art style actually does look unique. I like how it combines the qualities of 2D Mario and 3D Mario. It's like 2D Mario because, well, obviously it's 2D, but it's also like 3D Mario because the visuals look 3D rendered and it has 3D Mario moves such as the wall jump and the ground pound. It controls very smoothly and every action is so precise. The game has a pretty alright soundtrack. It's nothing too mind-blowing, but it has a lot of decent songs, so that's good. My biggest problem is the final Bowser fight at the end, which is just way too underwhelmingly easy. All you have to do is hit him with fireballs a few times, hit a switch, and that's literally it. That's my only complaint really, and otherwise it's a pretty solid game. I give it a 4 out of 5. I didn't give it a 5 because of the final boss being so underwhelming, and the music is just okay, but other than that, I recommend this one. So New Super Mario Bros. Wii is what we'll be taking a look at next. So New Super Mario Bros. Wii is actually an extremely important game to me. It's what got me into Nintendo in the first place, and also just what got me into video games in general. I feel like it's hard for me to tell if this one is actually good or not, as I have a lot of nostalgia with it. If I consider nostalgia, New Super Mario Bros. Wii is a fantastic game. If you don't, it's pretty alright. Not amazing, but it's fine. It takes a lot of its music from New Super Mario Bros. DS, and I wish it had a bit more original music. I also wish it had a more unique art style, because look at all 3 of the original Super Mario Bros. Games. They all have wildly different art styles. But now look at the new Super Mario Bros. Games and, well, you can see why people are sick of this style, that's for sure. Definitely the most underrated aspect of New Super Mario Bros. Wii has to be the world map music though. It's simple yet catchy. I think my favorite one out of all of them is definitely the World 1 theme. It's awesome. The Bowser fight in the end is the best Bowser fight out of all the New Super Mario Bros. Games. Basically, Bowser becomes gigantic and you have to run away from him. It's so climactic, I love it so much. I give New Super Mario Bros. Wii a 3 out of 5. That's because I kinda wish this one had more of its own unique music and art style, and just that it had more of its own identity. That being said, it does have good overworld music, level design, and final boss fight, and that's why it's not too low. Now, let's finally talk about the last 2 games of this video. Now, I cannot believe for the life of me how not once on this channel, not even once on this whole entire channel, have I talked about how much I love Mario Galaxy. Never! It blows my mind, really. Anyways, Super Mario Galaxy is so great. It was Mario's big game on the Wii, and in this one, Mario blasts off into space for the second time. Galaxy honestly probably controls the best out of any Mario game, and it's super tight and precise. I feel like the tight controls go well with how the levels are designed. There are little planets that you can run around on. On paper, honestly, running around on a tiny little planet sounds awful, but in reality, it's actually great. It's not as dizzying as you'd seem to think it is, and it actually feels quite natural. I feel like Galaxy perfectly nails how you should make a linear 3D Mario game without it feeling too much like 2D Mario. I mean, I do love 3D World and 3D Land, but I just think that Galaxy does it better. The galaxies are so creative. Just look at this. Just to name a couple of examples of how creative this one can be, there's Toy Time Galaxy, where you shrink down to the size of a toy. There's Honey Hive Galaxy, where you can literally turn into a bee. There's Sweet Sweet Galaxy, where everything is themed around junk food. There's Loop-de-Loop Galaxy. Oh wait, that one was actually bad. And honestly, I could go on all day. This game is just so creative, and it's so much more wacky than any other Mario game. The thing that Mario Galaxy does best is definitely atmosphere, and it's the thing that makes it stand out from the rest. The other ones are great, don't get me wrong, but I feel like they're so Mario, you know? They're all just happy, innocent Mario games, and I'm not gonna lie, it can get a little bit annoying at times. Especially when the music goes bop bop every 2 seconds, like oh my gosh, shut up! Galaxy is not like that. The atmosphere is so grand. And I haven't even mentioned the killer soundtrack in this. Every single song in this game is absolutely phenomenal. This is definitely one of my favorite, if not my favorite video game soundtrack of all time. My biggest problem with the Galaxy is that once you 100% at one time, you have to do it all again as Luigi, and I kinda wish they added more things for those who go through all the work of 100%ing it. But anyways, Super Mario Galaxy receives a 5 out of 5. Sure, the reward for 100%ing may be pretty lame, but the rest is so good that I can easily forgive it. Now let's talk about the sequel, which is the final game we'll discuss in this video. Super Mario Galaxy was the first 3D Mario game to ever get a direct sequel, and insert joke about how Galaxy 2 isn't in Mario 3D All-Stars. So overall, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is a great sequel. It's not a lot darker like how Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask was to Ocarina of Time, but it's good in other ways. It's basically just more of Galaxy 1. And hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Unless you're Paper Mario, and in that case, if it's not broke, break it. But back to Mario Galaxy. This one doesn't have much of an emphasis on story. But hey, I'm fine with that if it means we get better gameplay, and thankfully, it sure does. You can tell that they wanted the atmosphere to be different in Galaxy 2. It's not as epic as in Galaxy 1, but I'm fine with that because it still feels nice. They added Yoshi to this one. Hey, anything with my boy Yoshi becomes 5 times better in my book. The way Yoshi eats enemies in Galaxy 2 is actually a lot different than in other Mario games. In this one, you have to point your cursor at the screen and eat things like that. I actually really love this way of eating enemies. It's very unique and creative, and the music in this one does not fail to impress, just like the first one. That final Bowser music, man, I mean the fight is stupid easy, but the music is my favorite song out of both of the Galaxy games. I seriously consistently get chills every single time I hear it. It's got some real power. And you remember the issue in the first one where once you 100% beat the game, all you get was to play as Galaxy? Well, that is no longer an issue here. Instead, if you 100% the game in Galaxy 2, each level has 3 green stars and you have to find them. They are so fun to look for. It's a lot better than just getting Luigi. So in the end, I give Super Mario Galaxy 2 a perfect 5 out of 5. The music is fantastic, the galaxies are fun and creative, it has Yoshi. Yeah, Galaxy 2 is another Mario masterpiece that triumphs. Insert another joke about how I wish it was in Mario 3D All-Stars. And that's all I got in this video for you, folks. If you're a fan of this series, then remember to watch the following episodes. And if you're not a fan, then, I don't know, go read a book or something. Why are you even watching this if you aren't a fan? But anyways, next time I'll be reviewing every Wii U, 3DS, and Nintendo Switch Mario game. Then I'll also compile my top 10 list of favorite Mario games. And I can promise you this, Mario 64 will not be number 1. I'm sorry, okay?